Even Mark Zuckerberg seems surprised by Meta's pace of spending on AI. Amazon CEO pledges AI investments will pay off as capital expenditures surge 81%. AI spending is a good thing for Microsoft, analysts say, and here's why. Apple is spending more on AI, but still remains far behind their Silicon Valley peers. Palantir raises 2024 revenue forecast again on robust AI adoption. Shares surge. I got one word for you, and it's going to blow your mind. Uranium. What? When I was in high school, we had to memorize the periodic table and fill it in on a blank chart. And I raised my hand and I was like, this is... Why are we doing this? This is so pointless and so stupid. I'm never going to need to do this in my life. And here I am as an adult talking about uranium, which I'm sure is an element, and I'm sure it's on the periodic table. I couldn't tell you what their symbol is. Doesn't really matter. What does uranium have to do with social media and artificial intelligence? And I'm going to tell you. But first, you need to smash that follow. All of these companies, Amazon, Apple, Google, they're all spending a lot of money on artificial intelligence, which is making them invest very heavily in data centers. This is a data center. It processes, stores, and manages a shitload of data. It's basically a humongous building with computers. And their servers handle everything we do online. And as we rely more on generative AI and artificial intelligence in general, it's going to require a lot of power to keep these facilities running. As the need for this sort of technology becomes more and more prevalent in our society, the need for more and more electricity amplifies significantly. A lot of these big tech companies like Google and Microsoft have committed to zero net emissions, no carbon footprint, or a very low carbon footprint. So how do they produce all of this energy without producing emissions? You got it. Uranium or nuclear power. Nuclear, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. Nuclear, forget it. That stuff produces a lot of electricity and a lot of power without carbon emissions. What do these nuclear power plants use as fuel? Uranium. So how do you invest in it? Well, you've got a couple of options. Now, everyone on social media right now is obsessed with this company called Oklo. So let's take a look at them first. Oklo is designing and deploying advanced fission power plants to provide clean, reliable, and affordable energy. We use the same fission reaction energizing nuclear power plants today, but in a new way. This enables our technology to have true inherent safety and allows us to use nuclear waste as fuel. So I wanted to research the stock using my own fundamental analysis template to see if it's worth investing on. So let's take a look. All you got to do is go right here and click on the menu, which is right here. By the way, everything here is free, but I want this fundamental template. I use a couple of different websites to do this research. One is Seeking Alpha. You can see them on their website right now. It's only $21, so it's not that expensive per share, but it is up 104% year to date. And I wanted to take a look at their revenue, but they don't really have any. I also use a website like MarketWatch. I just prefer the way they lay out their financials, but as I was clicking through on everything for Oklo, no data available on anything. So, I'm filling out my little template here, and everything is like not applicable. I mean, I can't really research this thing. This means that Oklo is purely speculative. You have to keep that in mind when you're looking at a stock that has no earnings, no price to earnings ratio, no debt, no total assets to display. It makes it high risk. Does it make it wrong? Not necessarily, but you know what I always say, when it comes to speculative investments, only put in what you're willing to lose. At a stock that's $21 a share, are you willing to lose $2,100 if you were to buy 100 shares on a stock that's already up over 100% with no earnings? Well, what if you wanted to invest in some uranium plays because of this boom in AI that weren't completely speculative? I'm going to show you some alternatives using 2 uranium ETFs. And if you're going to say, well, which one of these ETFs is better or which one should I invest in? First of all, I can't give you financial advice. But second, you can go right here again, click on the menu and find this ETF template so you can compare them. You can also use this fantastic website. You have to create an account, but it is free. And you can compare both of them to see what the overlap is. This is an incredibly useful tool. So here we go with one uranium ETF, and you can see that it's only been public for, let's see here, it only started trading in September, so it's brand new. It's a baby. It has a pretty okay expense ratio. Anything over 1% is considered high, and for sector-specific or niche-specific ETFs like uranium and nuclear, this is pretty standard. You can click on their holdings right here, and it'll show you their top 10. Whoa, what just happened? It'll show you their top 10 holdings. So you might recognize some of these names, or you might not. One of my favorite investing hacks is to cherry pick ETFs holdings. So usually I like to look at their first 1 to 3 holdings because they're going to be the largest of the fund, 9, 8, and 8%. And then I can do some research using that template that I did if I wanted individual stocks. And if I wanted an ETF, well, I could compare this one to this one, the Global X Uranium ETF, which has a slightly higher expense ratio. This fund has been around since 2010, and its performance long-term has just been dismal. But perhaps with this sudden new interest in uranium and nuclear power and artificial intelligence and data centers, ETFs like this might do well. And we can look at their top 10 holdings. And you can see here, look at this one. Cameco is almost 24% of their total holdings. Interesting. So you might choose to go right here to their stock and compare it to Oklo. So let me know in the comments below what you think about uranium. Are you going to be checking out any of these ETFs? Are you going to be checking out Oklo? Do you already own Oklo? Make sure you smash that follow. Thanks for watching. See you later.